You need to learn how to control your mind. Why? How? We're going to talk about it on today's episode.
It's time to take back control. Control of how you feel, control of how you act, and control of how you experience life. It's time to become a lifer, a new breed of overachiever focused on living every minute to its fullest. We are responsible for how we feel, and no one and no thing can make us feel anything. Emotional mastery is our journey, and emotional education and intelligence is the key. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life.
What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast. I am excited to have you join me today because we're going to talk about how to control your mind. I mean, this is an interesting topic, right? Learn how to control your mind. Can you really? There's all that jibber jabber. There's all that nonsense and noise going on in your head. Are you that person? Are you that person? Guess what? We are all that person. So if you said no, you need to take a quick look in the mirror and you need to understand that, hey, we all have the chatter that doesn't matter going on in our head. And we're all striving to focus. We're all striving to find a way to catch some direction and clarity. This is a big deal, right? If we can gain clarity and focus, holy cow, this is really going to be helpful. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? Simple. We start to actually force, well, maybe force is the wrong word. We actually start to take a second each day, maybe a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and we start to think about a thing. We start to control our emotional state with that thing. This is a cool thing to do. A lot of people call it meditation, and meditation is cool. I'll tell you what, if you want to learn how to control your mind, meditation is a great start. Maybe take 10, 15 minutes each day and meditate. This is a cool thing. I know. Who has time to do that? But Michael, I'm so busy. I have so much to do. I don't know if I have time to meditate. Yeah, you do. 15 minutes would be plenty. Really, 15 minutes is going to be more than enough. You just have to start to realize that during that time, we're trying to quiet our mind. Now, is that really indeed possible? Well, your mind is perfectly capable of actually getting quiet and not interrupting you. Now, there's a lot to be said for that, right? That means, wait a second, the mind, well, you're aware of your mind, aren't you? You're aware of the thoughts in your mind. Yes, okay. You're aware of what's going on around you, meaning the world at large, right? You're aware of your body. You're aware of maybe the temperature, or you're aware of your emotions. You are aware. This is a big thing. And as you learn to get control of your mind by helping to quiet your mind every day, this is a big, big deal. Now, let's take this a step further. So we meditate. Okay, there's lots of ways to meditate. Just as a side note, you can easily just sit there. You know, you could go as far as crossing your legs and opening your hands and maybe doing the fingers, right? There's lots of different ways to meditate, and everybody has a preference. In fact, cultures all over the world have different forms and methods of meditation. Some people say lay down. Some people say you have to sit. Some people say you have to cross your legs. Some people say you should listen to an air conditioner. Some people say you should go by a river. All sorts of different ways to actually meditate, right? But here's the thing. You've got to find what works for you, which means you actually might need to spend some time thinking about it, working on it. Okay, so let's take this another step further. In order to do this, you're going to have to free your mind of some of the constraints that you've had in the past. What does that mean? You've got to free your mind of some of the constraints you've had in the past. What types of constraints? You know, judgments, right? This is rough because this is where we start to talk about unconditional appreciation, right? A lot of people talk about gratitude. Gratitude is great, right? Because we need to be able to learn and understand how to appreciate the wonderful things that are going on in our life. But the next phase is unconditional appreciation. That is gratitude with no condition. Wow. That means there's no if. I love you if you do this for me. I hate you because you did that to me. I feel bad because this situation happened. No, unconditional appreciation, meaning no matter what, I appreciate the situation because I know that I'm here to experience this journey. Which one? This journey. This one. You see the beautifulness that is this journey, right? What is that? That is amazing. But you don't always have to come into situations like this to be able to experience that. You can. And I highly recommend it because it's a very, very good thing to do, right? But in order to free your mind, you have to start to challenge some of the typical constraints. Do you judge other people? Do you look at them differently because of who they are, what they believe, how they believe? Because it's not cool, right? It's not cool, and it doesn't do good for you, because as you start to think it, you project that energy and then you get more of it. That's interesting, right? How many times have you woken up in the day and you just, people say you got out of bed on the wrong side, right? Or you got on the wrong side of the bed. This is implying that maybe you're a grump. Why? Because it started off a little bad, something happened, and then something else happened, and it just kept going and going and going. It's a big deal, right? Sometimes it's hard to get out of that. Sometimes a little quick session of meditation would be your friend. Maybe you should try it. Next time you're having one of those, I got out of bed on the wrong side type of days, maybe you ought to just take a 15-minute stint and meditate. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal. And I highly recommend it because you're looking to free your mind. And sometimes it takes getting out into nature, right? And like I showed you before, I'm right here next to this beautiful little small river, right? Some of you would call it a stream if you're from around Mississippi or anything like that, right? This is a stream. We call it a river. Okay. But it's not huge. But the sound, the majestic sound of the birds and the river behind me and the beauty of the sun lighting up the leaves and the green. How amazing is that, right? It's a beautiful thing. And this helps to free your mind, right? So you have to challenge some of the beliefs that you had, and you have to ask yourself, where did I get those from? Where did I get one of those beliefs from? Is it serving me? Am I working and operating from unconditional appreciation? Ask yourself those questions, right? Next time something happens, can you appreciate it regardless of what the social norm is of that thing, right? Something happens, everybody goes, oh, that's horrible. And you think to yourself, what could be good about that? This takes some practice. You have to flex the unconditional appreciation muscle, because it kind of acts like a muscle, right? Just like you lift a weight. The more you lift it, the easier it gets. And so I want you to really take a moment next time something maybe negative, or at least what you used to think was negative, or do think is negative right now. And I want you to take a second and I want you to think about how you can make it better, how you can appreciate it no matter what. And this is a challenge. But this is the challenge that I'm giving to you. And I want to know what you did. I want to know what you came up with. I want to know what you figured out. So put it in the comments. I want to hear from you. What did you figure out how to express unconditional appreciation for? And remember, it's not like you're out telling the world. This is between you and you. You got to free your mind. And by doing that, the possibilities are going to open up to you that are amazing. Guys, thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your comments. What have you done to free your mind? I want to hear about it. Put it in the comments below. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the little bell notification. That way you get all the content that's coming out. And we'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget, keep finding the magic for life.